Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren and this is Stella. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a cat on my lap. She wants some snuggles and who am I to tell her no? So I wanted to kind of upload an introductory or an introduction video. I had every intention on this being my first video for the channel. And I did film this video once before. However, when I went to go upload it to like my video editing software, the video was like 4 hours long. And I was like, I know for a fact I did not spend 4 hours filming this video. Like, what the heck is going on? So when I went to hit play, the video was like 4 times slow-mo. So I guess I filmed the video in slow motion. I don't know how I did that. I have no idea. Filmed videos since then and they are uploaded onto my channel. So needless to say, this video is not being uploaded first. There are like 2 book hauls and an April TBR already uploaded, so go check those out. But I still wanted to film the introduction video just to tell you guys a little bit about myself, what I read, the goals for this channel, you know, all the good stuff. So we are refilming today. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the introduction video. So I guess first, just a little bit about me. My name is Lauren. I am currently 32 years old and I live in Houston, Texas. I've got 2 kiddos. They are 5 and 7. Obviously I have a cat. She has a sister somewhere, and I do have a dog as well. For my big girl job, I work in oil and gas and chemical manufacturing. Very common and typical job for the Gulf Coast. My goals for this channel really is just to have fun. I don't want to take it too seriously. I just want to upload kind of like my thoughts and feelings about books that I'm reading, hopefully generate discussion in the comment section down below and connect with other book lovers. I do want to evolve, like I said, into like filming vlogs and maybe taking you guys book shopping with me. We have a lot of cute little like independent bookstores in my area, and then the further down you get into like downtown Houston or uptown, like the further you get into the city, the more like independent bookshops that you have. So I want to start checking those out. So I'll take you guys along with me to go check out those stores, and even just going to Target and Barnes & Noble and seeing the new book releases and just things like that. Because I do work full-time and I've got 2 kiddos, I do have a pretty busy like normal everyday life. So I don't want to create too many like yeah, yes, I see you. I see you. I don't want to create too many like unrealistic or unattainable goals for me right off the bat when it comes to this channel, because I don't want the channel to feel like a chore or like a job. I want it to feel and be a hobby, something that I enjoy doing. And I feel like if I put too much pressure and I create just too many like stacked goals, that it won't be fun and I won't want to do it because I'll just be disappointing myself or stressing myself out. So I just want to kind of go with the flow, and I want to like, I'll film videos when I can, when I have the time. I do edit my own videos too, and that takes time. So I just want to make sure that it stays fun for me. I want it to be fun. You know, for me, reading is fun. Talking about books is fun. So I don't want it to become something that like stresses me out. As for the type of books that I read, I am definitely in my like romantasy era. I also love just normal fantasy, like an epic fantasy or a quest type of fantasy. I love high stakes. I love found family. I have also started reading mafia romance, which I never thought that I would be a mafia romance girly, but here we are. I would say, though, I'm going to tell on myself, I would say that the mafia romances that I have read so far are probably like not very intense. They're really, I'm not gonna say cheesy, but they're like kind of cheesy. You know, I have been reading the Sophie Lark universe, which I have been really enjoying. Like they're like fun little books, which is like a weird, fun seems like a weird word to describe a mafia romance, but they are fun, and like also, even though they're mafia romance, they're also kind of heartwarming because you're just like, aw. I know it's so bizarre to like feel heartwarming and like aw towards a mafia romance, but that's just like what they make me feel. So I feel like because of that, they have to be like soft. Like they are soft. Like there's nothing too like intense sexually happy. Like no one's getting like anything like traumatizing happening to them, at least like not sexually. I mean, we've got like kidnappings and people are murdering each other and like things like that. But like your love interests, even though they may have like harsh beginnings, like one girl gets kidnapped and she falls in love with her kidnapper, and then they get married, and it like bridges like I don't know, like turmoil between the two families, like things like that. It is still like, I guess, traumatic in like their own way, but the trauma level is minimal, and the love that these people develop is heartwarming. I don't know. I also really, really love, probably my favorite genre, even over romantasy, because I've been reading it the longest and it has stuck with me the longest, is mythology, and like mythology, like retelling, I guess you could call it. I've got a little collection right here. One of my favorite ones that I just recently read between like the end of 2024 and like into 2025, it was a trilogy. It's the Songs of Penelope. I always want to say the last song of Penelope, but the last song of Penelope is the third book in the trilogy. The trilogy itself is the Songs of Penelope. Oh my gosh. If you don't know, Penelope is Odysseus' wife. And my oldest daughter's name is Penelope. I have had an obsession with the Odyssey since probably like the 7th grade. And I've loved Penelope since then. It always bugged me in school that we didn't learn more about Ithaca and like Penelope and like how she kept the kingdom going. Like the story is about Odysseus and like his journey back home, which is all fine and good. I love that story too. But I just always baffles me, like, why don't we get the double perspective whenever we're learning about mythology? So I love now in the year of 2024 or 2025, but these books were written in 2024, that we are starting to see more mythology retellings, as I call them, from the woman's perspective. So that makes me happy, and I love that. My reading goals for this year aren't necessarily like a numbers goal. I typically read between 55 and like 65 books in a year, which I will probably maintain that reading speed. But last year, I feel like I read a lot of books that the internet said that I should, and some of them panned out. I enjoyed them, and some of them I had to like push myself through because I was like, I have to read it. Everyone else is reading it, which is just ridiculous. I'm not gonna pigeonhole myself to that anymore. And I'm also going to try to allow myself to DNF books. I have a really hard time not finishing a book. I just feel like I'm already reading it, I may as well finish it. Especially if I get like more than halfway through, I'm like, oh, there's only 100 more pages. Or, you know, like I am always like giving myself an excuse to like continue to read the book even though like I'm not having a good time. So I want to spend my time reading things that I enjoy first and foremost. I don't want to be pressured by the internet. I mean, I'm all for recommendations and then like picking them up and trying them, and then if it's not working out for me, to put the book down and not feel guilty about it. That's what I'm saying. Send me all your recommendations. I'm not giving up on recommendations this year, but I am giving up on forcing myself to read a book just because the internet says that I should. I also want to read books out of my comfort zone this year. I mean, you guys know I've said I like romantasy, I like fantasy, I like mythology. I don't really read a lot of like literary fiction. I don't think I've ever read a memoir, which I really want to read this year. I've heard that Matthew McConaughey's memoir is like life-changing. So as a fellow Texan, I'm like, maybe that's one that I will pick up this year. I also want to read some classics. I think the last time I read something that's categorized as a classic, I was in grade school, which was a long time ago for me. Some books that fall into like the classic category that I do have on my 2025 TBR. No specific month, I just want to get them read in 2025. I do have 1984 by George Orwell, which, spoiler alert, I have already read, but if this video was going to be uploaded whenever it was supposed to be, it wouldn't have been read yet. Another book that I have on my classics wanting to be read is A Picture of Dorian Gray. I have absolutely no idea what this book is about. I showed it on one of my book hauls, so go check that out. Another book that I have on my list is Where the Red Fern Grows. I'm not sure who the author of that book is. I have it upstairs, but I did purchase that book because I keep seeing people talk about how a book made them cry. Like it's something that I see like repetitively. And so I don't know, one day I just was posting on Threads and I was curious, like, are people actually crying or is it like a figure of speech? Because I always assumed that it was a figure of speech. But I was watching a YouTube video and the girl talking about a book, like she was literally crying like in her video, and I just was kind of taken aback. I was like, oh, she's like actually, which is totally fine. Like if you want to cry, girl, cry. I'm not saying anything negative about her crying. I think that's totally fine. I just was surprised. I was like, she's actually crying. Like, okay. So then I got to thinking, like, it immediately made me think that maybe when people say that this book made them cry, like it's not a figure of speech, like maybe they're being for real, like maybe they actually literally shed tears. So, you know, I took it to the community. I was like, are we really crying? Are you guys really crying when you say that this book made you cry, or is that for real? And for the most part, I would say like 97% of people were like, yeah, duh, I cried. Like why would I say I cried if I wasn't really crying? Which, fair, totally fair. I just always assumed it was a figure of speech. The George Orwell 1984, that ending, I would say that that's like a cryable ending. Like I didn't literally cry, but that's a depressing ending. Like I emotionally was sad, you know? So I don't know. I just always thought it was a figure of speech. But apparently it's not. People are actually crying whenever they read books. So then once I realized, wow, okay, people are actually crying, I then was like, well, give me some recommendations on books that made you cry, because I have never been moved to physically cry during reading a book. Like, I don't know if my imagination just isn't like that vivid. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm not crying while I read. But a lot of people said Where the Red Fern Grows, they're like, that book doesn't make you cry. I don't know what will. So I was like, Okay, I'll give it a go. I'll read it. From what I understand, it is a children's book, but I think that's okay. Also, I will say, like, in general, like in my everyday real life, I am not an emotional person. Like, I'm not a crier. So, like, maybe that has something to do with it too. Like, maybe some people are just emotional and they like just feel the need to cry, which I think that's healthy and fine. Like, I am fine with that. I guess. Like, I don't have any opinions on that. I just don't think that that's me. I don't think that's who I am as a person. So maybe that's why I've never cried during reading a book. But I am interested to see, like, is there a book out there that can make me cry? I don't know. I don't know if that's really a goal or like a healthy goal to see if a book can make me cry. But I kind of feel like, I must be the weird one, because I always see people talking about how a book made them cry. And whenever I thought it was a figure of speech, I didn't think anything of it. But now that I know that it's not a figure of speech, people are saying literally that this book made them cry. I just feel like, and it's about book. Like, some people have said that they have cried during Throne of Glass, and I'm just like, what? I mean, yeah, like, unfortunate things are definitely happening, but I don't want to cry about it, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one. It's definitely possible that I'm the one that's cold-hearted and weird. So I don't know. All right, you guys, well, that is me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps push my videos out to other viewers here on YouTube, and that's really appreciated, especially for my small new growing channel. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.